latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft on AM 560. The Answer.
He is one of our heroes. Good morning, Amy Jacobson. Jeannie Ives here in for Dan Proft. Of course, we're talking about Officer Carlos Yanez. He was shot along with his partner, Officer Ella French, back in 2021. She, of course, was murdered, passed away because of her injuries. He, people, we just waited with a bated breath back and forth. Is he going to pull through? Is he going to be able to walk again? Well, he miraculously, by the gift of God's hand, made it through, and he joins us now on our Alpha Wealth Group line. Good morning, Carlos Yanez. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I know I saw you the other day at the firefighters fundraiser, and I mean, considering what you went through, you were shot 5 times in the head, neck, and shoulder. And during the trial, you showed the jury the scars that were left from each one of these wounds, and you lost an eye as well. Just take us back to that day in 2021. What happened?
It was during the traffic stop. Ella was shot and killed. I was shot 4 times in the head, 1 time in the right shoulder, and there was a lot of miscommunications. I had apparently died a couple times, but all the prayers and love and support, got me and my family through it. And I'm just thankful for being here and doing as well as I am.
Yeah, and you still have the bullet fragments embedded in your shoulder and neck because they're too dangerous to remove. Is that correct?
Well, at that time, they were too dangerous to remove, but doctors say if they're not causing any issues and no pain, then just leave them in, Yeah. And I don't want to go under anymore.
No, I wouldn't want to. And then there was a time when you couldn't walk and you learned how to walk again, correct?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was completely paralyzed when I was at Shirley Ryan. Thank God for them. Shirley Ryan is an unbelievably rehabilitation center, and all the therapists were really pushing me. There was a time where I couldn't even be upright. My blood pressure was going up too high. It was a machine that I laid down, and then they had to gradually stand me up on the machine, but I couldn't even be upright.
Well, Officer Yanez, we wanted to have you in today, mainly in the wake of this tragic shooting of another police officer. And, I had some really important questions for you, I think. And, a lot of us are wondering, what is the procedure for taking a prisoner? The guy was in custody to the hospital. He had obviously been, 7-time felony, violent felon. And it just... How is it that a gun was missed on him?
I can't speak for the officers that took him into custody, but there are some where, how did John say it? He said, John Canzera said it. He said, we're the most police department. I think we have 7 civilian accountability, and you don't, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I mean, necessarily, it happens. I mean, people put certain stuff in certain areas that, we not necessarily can't touch, but we need authorization, and.
Okay.
It's hard for me to explain, but I mean, this gentleman had areas that, he could have put it under his belly, or in his rectal area, and he concealed. I mean, he was, from what they're saying, is that he was naked and covered with a blanket, and then he pulled out the gun when they were going to do the CT scan.
So essentially you're saying, though, that if you want to do a deep body cavity search or something like that, you probably have to have permission. They just didn't go to that
But
step.
in the
100%.
90s, it was not that way. In the 90s, it
Okay.
was spread your butt cheeks, strip down naked, and then people started suing. Well, that's true. That what happened. And then people started
Yeah.
suing, and that's how they changed the way they strip search people.
Well, I don't know how they did it in the 90s, but I got out at 2014.
Well,
but,
Amy apparently
Well,
knows how.
I was a reporter at Channel 5 at the time.
I
and
want to hear more about this, Amy.
No, I remember people getting, the police department was getting sued because they felt their
Okay.
rights were being violated.
Okay, it's not funny at all. Don't
No.
get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe Amy had a personal situation.
No,
Okay,
no,
all
no,
right, good.
I didn't.
Okay.
So now we've got this officer. So people, as in your case, people had you, mainstream media had you were alive and then you didn't make it and then you were alive again. So where there's life, there's hope. So what do you want to say to
100%.
people who, I know that we're not saying his name, Mayor Johnson said the officer's name, and the family has been very adamant about not releasing the officer's name who survived the shooting, who's still in critical condition. But what do you want to say to their family about not giving up?
Just be strong. I mean, I know firsthand what they're going through, and I mean, anything that they need, please reach out to me, and just know that the community, all the family in blue, so many people are praying and supporting them from afar, and just keep them in your prayers. You know, just keep the prayers going. I mean, like, the power of prayer is so strong. I mean, the love. I mean, I felt when I was in the hospital from everybody outside the hospital room. It was just amazing. And it truly, I believe, got me to where I am now, because I still get so much love and support from so many people.
Well, you can just tell you have a good heart. I mean, I did that event with you and I was like, it's an honor to work with you. So were you in a medically induced coma ever? Or were you aware of what was happening? Like, did you know, like, when those shots were fired, did you like, just tell me what it was like?
So I don't remember after being shot. I don't remember actually pulling the vehicle over. I just remember coming to after being shot. I heard the beeps on my body camera, and I thought I was going to die. And I just say, "I love you, CJ," to my son. And, I'm saying my goodbyes. And then all of a sudden there's shooting right above me. So I thought that was it, and then I hear Josh Blas come to Ella and my aid. And then eventually he calls for backup. And then there's another officer, Nick Morales, who comes and he takes me to the hospital. I don't remember. I remember everything after I was up. After, I was up, I came to. But once I got to the hospital, I know there was a female doctor or a nurse. They couldn't get my gold chain off, and they had to cut it. And I was like, cut it. And then I blacked out. And then I don't remember waking up until I was in the ICU unit, looking up at my mom and dad, talking to the doctors.
Wow. I mean, it's just an incredible story.
So in the case of your shooter, was he known to the police as somebody of concern?
I know that he had either a warrant or I know he had ran over somebody and fled. So he did have a prior case, but I don't know, because I don't know his Julie record, but yeah, I don't know what kind of priors he had, but there are so many convicted felons out on the streets that should be behind bars.
Well, let's talk about that, about the Safety Act. Do you think that should be repealed or amended, or what are your thoughts?
I think when it was put into place, it had the right reasons. Susana Mendoza basically said it best. She's like, it was meant for, like, rich people that were charged with violent crimes or sexual assaults, not posting bond because they have the money. And then for individuals that don't have as much money being held on a nonviolent crime, those individuals should not be held. They should be able to provide work while they're working for their families. But here you have, for instance, this individual, I think he's 6-7 time convicted felon, aren't habitual. I mean, like, that's a large offense. I mean, like, that's 15 to 20 years, I mean, alone. And that was on back-to-back gun possession charges for a felon. I mean, like, he should have been behind bars for,
he had
ridiculous. But I mean,
he had 9 years of violent offenses, felonies, and the 50% service credit, and plus the concurrent sentencing, plus
correct.
time for being on electronic monitoring, which I find ridiculous.
Oh my God!
Towards your
I
sentencing,
find
that is
totally
outrageous because electronic
Oh my gosh,
monitoring
yes.
allows you to just basically roam around for 2 days free, and then apparently go to college at Truman College if you want to, if the judge approves. So I want to sort of push back a little bit because Susana Mendoza can say whatever she wants to say, but she never pushed back when this law was being passed, as did 100 out of 102 state sheriffs, state's attorneys. Okay, 100 out of 102 states' attorneys pushed back on this law. They knew what was going to be the ramifications of it. They knew that judges already have the discretion to give you bail or not give you bail. They always had that discretion. And they took all of that discretion away, and then instead they became a permissive society. It became very permissive. And if you didn't do this, you're a racist.
I just feel like judges need to have more accountability. I feel like, because I do recall, I don't know exactly what judge it was, but there was an incident where an individual threw like a gulp drink at the judge's vehicle, and that judge posted no bond. And it's just ridiculous. How is it that you have no bond for an individual that's just throwing soda on your car, yet you keep releasing these multiple convicted felons? It just blows my mind, that judges have that power and there's no accountability. Like, there should be.
Look at the guy who threw a big gulp at then Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox. He was charged with a felony.
I mean,
he was released on pretrial release, but she did charge him with a felony because he threw a big gulp at her.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? And then people murder people here, and they don't even get charged with that?
Yeah, it's just, I'm so glad that Kim Fox is gone, but I know Eileen Burke is really, if we didn't have her and Superintendent Snelling, that the city would be so much worse off. I'm so glad that we have them two individuals, because they're the ones really keeping the crime as much down as it is. And there's so many convicted felons. Like, the justice system is finally convicting these felons, these criminals, but the judges keep releasing them, whether they're using the Safety Act as an excuse or some of them being biased. I just don't understand that. There was one incident where
some of them are being street preachers from the bench. That's what I think.
And it's just disgusting. I was with Dion Moon and with Ariana Preston's family at one of the courts, and one of the individuals, the criminals, being charged with the crime, murdering Ariana, I guess graduated and got his GED while in jail, and the judge plays a graduation song for him. And that was 2 weeks before Ariana was supposed to graduate with a double, I think, major at Loyola, which Dion Moon rightfully, broke down, and we had to escort her out, the whole family. It was disgusting. These judges allow family members to go in and hug individuals that are being charged with murdering officers. It's just disgusting.
But they played the graduation song in court?
In court for and it was just, I was in shock. I was just like, this is not happening. And it's just disgusting how, certain judges don't take the victims and the families into account. And don't get me wrong, I understand that, there needs to be some rehabilitation while you're in jail. But if a suspect, you're being charged with murdering a police officer. There's certain crimes, it was so disgusting and so hurtful. To the families that get to say, I love you to an individual that just took an officer's life, and the mothers in the courtroom and the families in the courtroom, and they don't get to say I love you or talk to them or hug them even. I mean, it's just disgusting. It breaks my heart every single time I see it, and it gets my blood boiling.
I have never heard that story before, so thank you so much for bringing it to us. So, Officer Yanez, what are you? You're a member of the FOP board, correct?
Correct. Yeah, Lodge 7, John Deneen.
Okay. And what else are you doing with your time?
I'm on the board with Light the Line. So it's been good. You know, I'm trying to give back as much as I can. I try to support any events that are supporting first responders. Like you said, I seen you at the Michael Altman fundraiser. Yeah. And it's just, we can't catch a break. I mean, like, the first responders are just going through so much, and it's just constantly and consistently, you know, like, it's just heartbreaking. And then I want to be there for the families, but it's very difficult for me because it brings back a lot of memories and emotions, but I got to be strong for them, you know, because they were there for me and my family when we needed it. Josh and Ella's family, you know, Elizabeth French. I mean, they were here for us. So it's our way of giving back, you know.
Well, God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carlos Yanez Jr., former Chicago police officer, still on the board at the FOP. Thank you so much. God bless you. And he joined us on the Alpha Wealth Group line. But also, real quick, before we go to break, I want to read a text. Amy, I'm a longtime detective here. I met you many crime scenes over the years. We never were able to search body cavities in the 90s without a search warrant. So I stand corrected.
Okay.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer. Picture warm Gulf breezes, turquoise waters, white sand beaches. Now, add evenings of conversation with Salem Media's Mike Gallagher, Scott Jennings,